Welcome back to Take the Leap Management, the podcast where we explore leadership theories, management strategies, and the principles that drive success in organizations. Today we're talking about Transformational Leadership Theory, one of the most influential and widely studied leadership models in modern management. Unlike traditional leadership approaches that focus primarily on supervision, structure, and maintaining the status quo, transformational leadership is about inspiring and motivating people, providing vision, fostering innovation, and leading by example. This leadership style is associated with driving change, encouraging creativity, and building strong, engaged teams that go beyond just completing tasks. They push boundaries and strive for excellence. Transformational leadership theory was first introduced by James MacGregor Burns in 1978 and later expanded upon by Bernard Bass in the 1980s. Burns originally described two types of leadership: transactional and transformational. Transactional leaders focus on maintaining structure, rewarding performance, and enforcing discipline, while transformational leaders focus on inspiring and empowering people to achieve more than they thought possible. Transformational leadership is about vision, motivation, and long-term impact rather than just efficiency and task management. Both expanded the concept by identifying key behaviors and attributes that transformational leaders demonstrate, helping to shape how organizations apply this leadership model today. At the core of transformational leadership is the ability to inspire others. Transformational leaders create a compelling vision for the future and communicate it in a way that energizes their teams. They don't just give orders or set goals. They ignite passion and excitement about the mission of the organization. A great example of this is Steve Jobs, who wasn't just focused on building computers, but on changing the way people interacted with technology. His ability to articulate a vision and rally people around it is a hallmark of transformational leadership. Another key element of transformational leadership is fostering innovation. Transformational leaders challenge the status quo and encourage their teams to think creatively. They don't just settle for conventional approaches. They push for new ideas, fresh perspectives, and breakthrough solutions. In today's fast-paced world, where technology, markets, and customer expectations evolve rapidly, organizations that embrace transformational leadership are more likely to stay ahead of the curve. Leaders like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have used this approach to revolutionize industries by setting ambitious goals and empowering their teams to find innovative ways to achieve them. But transformational leadership is not just about vision and innovation. It's also about leading by example. Transformational leaders model the behaviors and values they want to see in their teams. They are authentic, ethical, and committed to continuous growth. They don't just tell their employees what to do. They demonstrate resilience, dedication, and a willingness to take risks. This kind of leadership builds trust and credibility, creating a culture where employees feel motivated to give their best effort. Leaders like Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. are classic examples of transformational leaders, as they inspired massive social change, not by imposing authority, but by embodying the values and vision they preached. One of the most important aspects of transformational leadership is emotional intelligence. Transformational leaders are deeply aware of their team members' emotions, motivations, and personal aspirations. They are not just focused on the organization's goals, they also care about the growth and well-being of their employees. This creates a culture where people feel valued, supported, and inspired to go above and beyond. Employees who work under transformational leaders often report higher job satisfaction, stronger engagement, and a greater sense of purpose in their work. Transformational leadership also plays a critical role in developing future leaders. Rather than just managing employees to complete tasks, transformational leaders mentor, coach, and empower their teams to grow into leadership roles themselves. They create an environment where people are encouraged to take ownership, develop new skills, and step outside their comfort zones. This kind of leadership has a lasting impact as it helps organizations build strong leadership pipelines and ensure long-term sustainability. One of the key frameworks used to describe transformational leadership is Bass's 4 components of transformational leadership. 1. Idealized influence. Leaders serve as role models, earning trust and respect through their actions and integrity. They lead by example and inspire others through their authenticity, passion, and commitment. 2. Inspirational motivation. Transformational leaders create a compelling vision for the future and communicate it in a way that excites and energizes their teams. They use storytelling, strong communication, and enthusiasm to motivate people. 3. Intellectual stimulation. These leaders encourage innovation, critical thinking, and problem solving. They challenge assumptions, inspire creativity, and push their teams to explore new ways of doing things. 4. Individualized consideration. Transformational leaders recognize the unique strengths, needs, and aspirations of each team member. They provide mentorship, coaching, and support tailored to individual development. Transformational leadership is widely used in corporate settings, startups, education, healthcare, and even political leadership. In business, leaders who adopt this style help drive change, inspire high performance, and create cultures of innovation. Companies like Google, Tesla, and Apple have embraced transformational leadership by fostering creativity, risk-taking, and a sense of shared purpose among employees. In project and portfolio management, transformational leadership is incredibly valuable. Projects are not just about meeting deadlines and budgets. They are about achieving meaningful impact and strategic objectives. Project managers who adopt a transformational approach go beyond task execution and instead motivate their teams to think strategically, solve problems creatively, and take ownership of their work. They help team members see how their contributions fit into the bigger picture, which boosts engagement and performance. For portfolio managers, transformational leadership is even more critical. Managing a portfolio of projects requires aligning multiple initiatives with an overarching strategy. Transformational portfolio managers communicate vision across different teams, create synergies between projects, and inspire leaders at all levels to push boundaries. They help navigate organizational change, build stakeholder buy-in, and ensure that every project contributes to the long-term success of the business. However, transformational leadership is not without challenges. One of the biggest criticisms is that it can be difficult to implement in highly structured or bureaucratic environments. Some organizations rely on strict processes, compliance requirements, and hierarchical decision-making, which can limit a leader's ability to foster innovation and creativity. In such cases, transformational leadership may need to be balanced with transactional leadership elements, ensuring that vision and inspiration do not come at the cost of efficiency and operational discipline. Another challenge is leader dependency. Because transformational leadership is so heavily based on the leader's ability to inspire and motivate, organizations can struggle if a transformational leader leaves. If a company's success is too closely tied to one person's vision and energy, it can create instability when leadership transitions occur. To mitigate this, transformational leaders must build strong leadership teams, develop successors, and embed their vision into the organization's culture. Despite these challenges, transformational leadership remains one of the most effective and impactful leadership styles in today's world. It is particularly important in times of change, uncertainty, and disruption, as it provides teams with clarity, purpose, and motivation to navigate challenges. Organizations that embrace transformational leadership cultivate resilience, adaptability, and continuous innovation, positioning themselves for long-term success. Ultimately, transformational leadership is about leading with vision, inspiring people to reach their full potential, and creating an environment where innovation and excellence thrive. It is about more than just getting the job done. It is about making a lasting impact. Leaders who adopt this approach don't just manage teams, they create movements, shift mindsets, and drive meaningful change. Thank you for joining me on Take the Leap Management. If you found today's discussion insightful, subscribe and share it with your colleagues. Transformational leadership is not just about managing people, it's about inspiring them to achieve greatness. Let's take the leap together.